Good morning, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Happy Wednesday morning if you're watching this live. Appreciate you joining me. Always delighted to have you here. We have a nice, invigorating, midweek, energizing flow to move through today. We'll be working a lot on adduction, bringing our legs and our arms together across our body, a little bit of balance and a little bit of core stability as well. As always, this is a 60-minute Vinyasa class, all levels, so I'll be providing plenty of modifications along the way so that it's accessible for yogis of all expertise. As far as props for today, nothing in particular, but if you do usually practice with blocks or straps, you can have those nearby for practice. Otherwise, I'm in a new location for the week. You'll see Oliver and Coney walking around. There might be a dog that will come through. Again, all new sights and sounds so that hopefully it'll just add to the experience of having class with you today. I'll announce some more information at the end of class as far as donations if you'd like to. We've partnered with a local charity here, so I'll get into more of that at the end of class. But I want to appreciate you for joining me now. Okay, so to get started, we will begin in a cross-legged seat. So find yourself in a nice, comfortable seat here. In your cross-legged seat, if you ever feel like you need to prop up on something, that can always help to elongate your spine, allow you to sit up a little bit straighter. You can place either a block if you have a towel, or even just roll up your mat to give you a little bit of elevation to sit on. And once you settle in, just find a comfortable place to rest your hands. Your palms can be on your knees or your thighs, maybe down by your side. Just see what comes most comfortably and most natural to you. We'll be beginning class here in this seated position for a couple minutes, so make sure you're nice and settled in. As we move through, you may be able to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Just allow yourself to be here as we begin class. All right, let's all take a nice deep inhale in together and exhale. All right, so settle in and begin to deepen the breath. Shift the weight of your body slightly back. Imagine that it represents lingering in the past, unwillingness to move forward. Then lean slightly forward and imagine that it represents rushing into the future, focusing on what needs to get done instead of being here now. Then find a sweet spot in between the two extremes. Feel yourself being right here, right now, in the present moment. Continue to deepen your breath. Focus on your exhalation. Every time you exhale, imagine sinking into your foundation, connecting to the ground. Become more stable with every exhalation. Then focus on your inhalation. Every time you inhale, feel yourself becoming taller and more spacious. Stability on exhalation, spaciousness on inhalation. Notice how those two sensations are connected and how they support each other. Find the sweet spot between the two. Breathe deeply. With every inhalation, feel the air going in, and with every exhalation, feel the air coming out. On the inhale, imagine taking in new energy and experiences. On the exhale, imagine ridding yourself of the unwanted stuff. Find the sweet spot in between the two, where you allow the energy to move through you, but keeping only the things that nourish you. Stay present. Now, if your eyes were softened or your gaze closed, gently start to blink your eyes open and bring some awareness back to your body here. Okay, we'll switch the crossing of our legs. So bring the opposite shin in top. We'll move forward into the movement part of our practice. Releasing the arms down to the sides, take a nice deep inhale and exhale. On your next inhale, raise the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, arms out and down to the sides. 3 more times. Inhale, arms overhead, softening the shoulders. Exhale, arms out and down. 2 more times. Try to keep the arms straight the entire time. Inhale as they rise, and exhale as they lower. 1 more time. Inhale, arms overhead, and exhale, arms out and down. Keep moving. Inhale, arms overhead. This time we'll add a twist. On your exhale, twist to your right, release both arms to the right side. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. We'll do that 3 times each side. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to the right. Inhale, arms overhead, back to center. Exhale to the left. 2 more times each way. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twist. Make sure you're still rooting down through your sit bones as you twist. Exhale to the left. 1 more time each way. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale to the right. Inhale, arms overhead. And exhale to the left. Coming back to center, bringing both arms overhead, adding a side lean. So release your right arm down to the side, fingertips or palms to the mat or to a block. Inhale as you lift those left fingertips to the sky. Exhale, side lean over to the right. Option to stay here if you want. You can walk those right fingertips or palm out as much as you'd like, but try to keep your left sit bone rooted, bicep next to your ear. Both shoulders square forward. Hold for 1 more breath. Use your abdominal muscles to lift yourself back up to center, both arms overhead. Exhale, release the left arm. On your inhale, create length by sending those right fingertips to the sky. Exhale, side bend, left side this time. Same options as before. Try to keep the right sit bone rooted as you walk those left fingertips out, keeping the bicep next to the ears. Shoulders square forward. Let's hold here for 1 more breath. And inhale, raise both arms overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right. Now extend your right arm straight forward and bring it across your chest, almost like a half hug. And extend your left arm underneath, palm faces up. And then bend your left elbow. Let's try and create some space in that right shoulder. So our right arm comes across, our bent left arm just tries to add a little bit of spaciousness in that shoulder. Just know that it's early. We're just trying to loosen up a little bit here in that shoulder socket. So be gentle. Hold for one more breath. Exhale, release both arms out and down. Same thing, different side. All right, second side. So extend your left arm across your body. Right arm extends forward, palm face up, bend your right elbow. Draw that left arm a little closer to your body here. Again, we're being very gentle. It's still early. Just allowing some space in that left shoulder. Try to breathe into that area. One more breath. And exhale, gently release. Okay, so we're working towards a peak pose today, and we'll work on half that with our arms right now. So the three different options, we're working towards Garudasana Eagle Pose. Begin by extending your arms straight out to a T, palms face forward. Now, option one, hug yourself. Bring your right arm underneath, left arm on top. So right arm under, left arm on top. You're stacking the elbows here. Try and grab opposite shoulders. This is your first option. Second option, if you'd like, bring the backs of your hands to touch right in front of your face. And third option, you wrap a little bit more, wrap the wrists as well, palms face each other. Now, whatever option you choose, the idea here is to draw the elbows up, draw the navel in and up, release the tailbone down, and broaden those shoulders away from each other down your back. So wherever you are, hold for one more breath. And exhale, gently release. All right, extend the arms back out to the sides. We'll switch other side. So this time, right arm on top, left arm on bottom. Use this opportunity right now to play around. See which option works best for you. Hugging yourself, maybe the backs of the hands, and maybe the palms touch. And perhaps as you work through practice, one option calls out to you more so than the other. Or maybe it changes throughout. And again, draw those elbows up, draw the navel in and up, tailbone draws down, shoulders separate and draw down your back. Hold for one more breath, and exhale, gently release the arms out. Okay, let's come onto our backs now. So meet me on your back with your knees hugged into your chest. With your knees drawing in, keep the right knee hugged in. Let's extend and straighten that left leg straight out. Releasing the left heel down to the mat. Flexing both toes so they draw back towards your face. Spin this inner left thigh in and down. That keeps the knee facing straight up towards the sky. So we'll draw the right knee in as we extend the left heel out through and away from our body. Hold for one more breath. Exhale, let's switch. Draw the left knee in, extend and straighten that right leg straight out. Releasing the right heel to the mat. Flexing both toes. Draw that left knee in as you extend out through the right heel. Keep the shoulders and the back of the head on the mat. Right knee faces up by spinning that inner right thigh in and down. One more breath here. And exhale, draw both knees in. Keep your knees bent, but release the bottoms of your feet down onto the mat. Now draw your right knee into your chest and place the right ankle on top of the left knee. Figure 4. Right palm to right thigh. Try to keep your hips rooted onto the mat. You can gently start to open up the hips here. So we're opening up this right hip socket. So be gentle, add a little bit of pressure using your right palm to draw your right thigh away from your body. Keep that right foot flexed. Left knee stays on top of the left ankle. Hold for one more breath. And exhale, release that right foot down. We'll switch to the other side. Draw the left knee in, left ankle to right knee. Place this left palm on that left thigh. And again, center up here. Make sure your hips are still on the mat. And you can gently use your left palm to press the left thigh away. Keep the shoulders and the back of the head rooted as well. Left foot is flexed. Holding for one more breath. And exhale, we'll gently release, drawing both knees back into your chest, coming in through tabletop. Get there your way. If you like to cross your ankles with your chin tucked, roll up and down your spine a couple times, then coming through to tabletop, or you can just let your legs fall off to the side. Either way, let's all meet in tabletop, however you prefer. All right, in your tabletop, wrists are underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips, tops of the feet to the mat. Try to firm the outer upper arms in as you roll the biceps out. Elbow creases start to face forward. Make sure those fingers are nice and spread, pressing down to the base of each finger and each palm. Gentle press of the shins and the tops of the feet into the mat. Draw that navel in and up. Chin slightly tucked, gaze towards the top. Hold for one more breath here. And exhale. All right, moving right into our cow-cat. So we'll inhale as we drop the navel, tailbone lifts, heart forward, look up. Exhale, round the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy. 3 more times, just like that, moving on your breath. Exhaling through your cat. All right, and once you finish your final cat pose, meet me back in a nice neutral spine in your tabletop. Now, typically in tabletop, we have our knees underneath our hips. So now, bring your right knee to the center of the mat. So right knees to the center, and lift your left knee up and place it behind the right knee, separating the tops of the feet out to the width of the mat. So your right knee is in front, left knee is behind, tops of the feet separate out wide. Now your hands are still down in tabletop position, shoulders over wrists, but we'll rock forward and back and just seeing where our flexibility or accessibility level is. So shifting the weight back and then back forward, shoulders over wrists. So inhale as you come back, exhale forward. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, shift the weight back. Exhale forward. 1 more time. Inhale, shifting back. And exhale forward. Okay, we'll release back into our tabletop, switching to the other side. So this time bring your left knee to the center. Right knee comes behind. And separate your feet out wide to the width of the mat. Take a moment here to settle in. And on your inhale, we'll shift back. Exhale forward. Keep moving on your breath. Notice how one side might feel a little different than the other. Notice how your hips, your shins, your feet move as your body moves here. Coming back to center, releasing back into your tabletop. With the tops of the feet to the mat, we'll send our hips back to our heels, lifting our torso up, sitting in our Virasana pose. If you need to sit on a block, you can place that in between your feet, or if either of those options don't work for you, just come back to a cross-legged seat. So we're just finding a version that works for you. All right, playing with the wrists a little bit here. So let's intersect the fingers, bring the base of the wrists to touch, elbows towards each other, and gently start to roll your wrists in a figure 8 position here. And begin to slow. Let's move in the opposite direction. Just giving our wrists a little bit of love this morning. All right, gently release. Switch whichever thumb is on top. So bring the opposite thumb on top. Re-intersect the fingers, wrists, and elbows touch. And gently start to move in your first direction here. What's up, Oliver? Begin to slow. Let's move in that opposite direction here. All right, and slow it down. You can separate the wrists wide, coming back into your tabletop. And from your tabletop, let's curl the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. From your down dog, allow yourself to move here. So take your dog for a walk. You can lift one heel, lift the other. Maybe you lower one shoulder and lower the other. If down dog is too much for you, you can always move in your tabletop as well. Sending one leg back, forward. Just take 2 more breaths here in your down dog. All right, let's all meet back in stillness in our down dog, heels behind those center toes. Inhale as you gaze forward. We'll come back into tabletop. So shift forward, come back onto the knees, wrists underneath the shoulders, tops of the feet to the mat. Now extend the right leg straight back, straightening the right leg, keep the right toes on the mat. Left arm forward, keep the left fingertips down. So right leg back, left arm forward. Try to keep your shoulders still level. Hips equidistant from the mat as well. Just hold for one more breath. Exhale, let's switch. Drop the right knee down, left arm down. Extend the left leg straight back, curl the toes under. Right arm extends forward. Keep the fingertips and the toes to the mat. Again, shoulders and hips should still be equidistant from the mat, so it's easy to fall to one side or the other. So try to readjust here. Holding for one more breath. Exhale, gently release to tabletop. Okay, option to advance. This time as we extend the right leg back, option to bring the right toes off the mat, thigh up to hip height. Same option with the left arm forward, either fingertips down to the mat or up to shoulder height. Palm faces in, thumb up, pinky down. Try to spin the inner right thigh in and up towards the sky. Draw the navel up, hold for one more breath. Exhale, gently release back to your tabletop, recenter, moving to the other side. Same options, curling the left toes under, keep the left leg on the mat or raise the thigh up to hip height. Right arm extends forward, palm faces in, thumb up, pinky down. Really press back through that left heel, extend forward through the right fingertips, hold for one more breath. Exhale, gently release, curling the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Coming forward, so inhale as you gaze forward, bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Stay in your forward fold at the top of your mat. Feet hips width distance, grab opposite elbows, hang low in your ragdoll pose. Biceps next to ears. You can have a gentle bend in your knees, rest your chest on your thighs if you'd like. Try to let the crown of your head draw down as your hips draw up towards the sky. Gentle sway from side to side if you'd like. And now let's switch whichever forearm is on top. Grab opposite elbows again. All right, let's all meet back in stillness. Releasing the clasps of the elbows. Coming up to standing, but nice and slow. So press down through the feet. And on your inhale, start to stack one vertebrae at a time, taking your time. No rush to get up here. Stacking one on top of the other. Chin is the last thing to arrive. And once you're up to standing, let's inhale as we bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center, and down to the side. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Make sure your feet are still hips width distance. Inhale, bring the arms back up overhead. This time stay here, palms face each other. Shift weight into the right leg. Bend the left knee, bring that knee up to hip height. Flex those left toes. Try to draw this left hip down and firm this outer right thigh in. Still keeping the arms overhead. So notice what this does to your body. Can you still draw your tailbone down and lift these frontal hip points up? Broaden your collarbones, draw the shoulders down your back. Holding here for one more breath. Keep the arms overhead, release the left foot down. Make sure your feet are hips width distance and start to shift weight into your left foot. We'll draw the right knee up to hip height. Flexing that right foot. Drop the right hip down, firm that left thigh in. Really press down through that left heel, just working on our balance here. Drawing the shoulders down, tailbone draws down, navel draws in and up. One more breath. And exhale, gently release, arms down through the center and down to the sides. Okay, come to the top of your mat if you're not already. Feet hips width distance, arms down to the side, palms face forward. Soften those shoulders away from the ears. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, press down through your feet. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up, back up to standing. Palms face each other. Exhale, hands down through center. Let's add on. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway, hands to the shins, nice flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Stay low, plant your palms. Step your right foot back. Step your left foot back. Drop your knees down. Shift your weight forward. Bend the elbows lower all the way to the mat. Bring the tops of your feet down. Press your hips down on your inhale. Lift your head up, chest up. Baby cobra. Tailbone draws down. Elbows draw in. Exhale, gently release. Keep the knees down. Curl the toes. Press yourself up in the knees down. Plank pose. And lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for a couple breaths here. Always have the option to drop down to your knees in tabletop or move into your child's pose for a rest. Know that we just moved through our vinyasa there. That's one option for your vinyasa. If you prefer any option that's right for you today, go for it. All right, all meeting in downward facing dog, lifting the hips up towards the sky. Now inhale as you gaze forward. We'll shift forward, come into tabletop again. So lower our knees to the mat, tops of the feet to the mat. Make sure your shoulders are over your wrists. Now extend the right leg straight back. Bring the thigh up to hip height. Flex those back toes. Extend the left arm forward. Right where we were before. This time we're adding a crunch though. So inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, crunch. Round your back. Bring your elbow to the knee. So elbow draws in. Knee draws in. Inhale, re-extend. And exhale, crunch, elbow to knee. 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, extend. And exhale, crunch. Gently release back down into your tabletop. We'll switch to the other side. So extend the left leg back, thigh up to hip height. Right arm extends forward, palm faces in. Take an inhale as you lengthen. And exhale, cat, elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Exhale, elbow, knee. 2 more times. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it in. 1 more time. Inhale, extend. And exhale, elbow to knee. Gently release back down into your tabletop. Step your right leg back. Step your left leg back into plank pose. Lift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, back up to standing. Arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center. Down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, let's add on. Inhale, bring the arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward. Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your left foot back. Step your right foot back. Vinyasa your way. Knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows, lower all the way to the mat. Tops of the feet down, hips down. Inhale as you lift your head up, chest up into your back bend. Exhale, gently release. Keep the knees down, curl the toes under. Press up through knees down, plank pose. Hips up and back, downward facing dog. Again, stay for 3 to 4 breaths here in your down dog. Arms your shoulder width distance, feet hips width distance. Ankles draw back behind the center toes. Pressing the chest back towards the thighs. Hold for 1 more breath. Inhale as you gaze forward, moving into tabletop again. So shift forward, lowering your knees down, bring the tops of your feet to the mat. Now, if you'd like, you can repeat what we did before when we did the crunches in our tabletop. Otherwise, if you'd like to advance, we'll come back into our downward facing dog. So choose what option works for you. I'll move through the down dog version, curling the toes under, lifting the hips up and back, down dog. So on your inhale, raise the right leg up and back, flex the toes. Now exhale, shift forward, bring the right knee to the left elbow, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, send it back, three-legged dog. 3 more times, just like that. Elbow to knee, send it back. So again, if you're in your tabletop, you're repeating what we did during the last sequence. Otherwise, we have one more here, sending that right leg back, knee to elbow. Send that right leg up and back, release down into your down dog. We'll switch to the other side. So left leg up and back, flexing the toes. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, shift forward, knee to elbow, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, extend. 3 more times, knee to elbow, shifting forward. So notice how you're bringing that knee across your body, whether you're in your down dog moving or if you're in your tabletop. Last one here, wherever you are, lifting that left leg up and back, releasing into downward facing dog. If you are moving through your tabletop, lift your hips up and back, meet us all in down dog. Now inhale as we gaze forward, bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Feet hips width distance, inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold, back up to standing, press down through your feet, lift the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center, down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale and exhale, adding on. So press down through your feet, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold. We'll shift it up this time. So plant your palms, keep your left foot forward, step your right leg back. We're in our low lunge here. Just settle in for a moment. Make sure your left foot is on the left side, right foot is on the right side. Both toes face forward. That right knee is up off the mat. Wrists are still underneath the shoulders. Try to lift that thigh up a little bit more. Hold for one more breath. Now, we'll drop the right heel down so the right toes face towards the long edge side of your mat. Warrior 2 feet. So bring the left arm to the inside of that left thigh. Right arm up to the sky. Press down through the feet. Inhale as you lift up into your Warrior 2 pose here. Settle in, you may need to adjust. So make sure the left toes are facing the short edge. Right toes face the long edge. Maybe you need to walk those left toes in towards the center to have your heel to arch alignment. Arms are out to a T, palms face down. Gaze is over those left fingertips. Try to square your shoulders to the long edge side of the mat. Really press down through that left heel. Firm and roll this outer thigh in and under, pressing back through the outer edge of that right foot. Holding for one more breath. Now turn the left palm up. Release the right arm down to the right leg. Lift the left arm up to the sky. Reverse your warrior. Exhale, spiral both arms forward and down to either side of that left foot. Come up on that back right heel. Send the left foot to meet the back foot. Vinyasa your way, or meet us in down dog. Knees down or up as you lower. Lifting into your back bend, Bhujangasana or Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Curling the toes under. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Staying in your down dog for just 2 breaths here. Keep pressing your chest back towards your thighs. Again, tabletop or child's pose is always an option. You can always skip your vinyasa. Meet us always in down dog. Inhale as you gaze forward. Bend your knees. Exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through your feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center, down to the sides. Let's keep moving. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Keep your right foot forward this time. Step your left foot back. With that left foot back, stay in your high lunge. So make sure the right foot is on the right side, left foot is on the left side. Wrists are still underneath your shoulders. You're still lifting that back thigh up, spinning that inner left thigh up towards the sky. Now, moving through our warrior two. So we'll drop our left heel down. Maybe you already walk those right toes towards the center of the mat. Right arm to the inside, left arm up to the sky, press down through your feet, and on your inhale, lift up into your warrior two. Check your foundation. Make sure those left toes are facing the long edge side. Right toes face the short edge side. Heel to arch alignment from the front foot to back. Squaring the shoulders to the long edge side of your mat. Arms out to a T, palms face down. Turn your neck to look over those right fingertips. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. Stay for a couple breaths. Remember how we started class where we're trying to find that sweet spot in between our balance points. Really firm this right outer thigh in and under. Press back to the outer edge of that left foot. Soften the shoulders for one more breath. All right, reversing our warrior, turn the right palm up, release the left arm down. Inhale as you raise the right arm up to the sky, side bend, left side. Exhale, spiral both arms forward and down, either side of that right foot. Come up on that back left heel, step the right foot back to meet the left foot, vinyasa through, or meet us in down dog. As you shift forward, tops of the feet down, hips down. Inhale, lift your head up, chest up. Releasing down, curling the toes under. Lifting up and back, downward facing dog. Standing down dog for 2 breaths here. Last breath. All right, let's inhale as we gaze forward, bend the knees. Exhale, walker step to the top of the mat. Feet hips with distance. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through the feet. Inhale, raise the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. All right, let's separate our feet out wide, facing the long edge side of your mat. Start with your feet parallel, hands to your hips. Now, from here, bring your ankles in and your toes out. So heels in, toes out, 45-degree angle, setting up for goddess pose. But this time we'll add our Garudasana arms, what we've been practicing. So extend the arms out wide, palms face forward. First option, hug yourself, right arm on the bottom to start. So right arm on the bottom, left arm on the top. Again, option to stay here or find the option that works for you. Again, you can always play around. You don't have to commit to one for the whole class. Now, from here, we'll start to bend the knees, lower the hips, and try to draw the tailbone down. So we're lowering into our goddess. You're still drawing the knees away from each other, lifting those frontal hip points up. Draw the navel in and back, shoulders separate. Hold for one more breath. And now straighten the legs. Release the arms out wide. And exhale, release the arms down. Okay, extend the arms back out wide. We'll switch to the opposite side. So this time, right arm on top, left arm on the bottom. If you had the other way, just switch it up. Again, play around with whatever version works for you. Draw those elbows up, shoulders separate and draw down your back. Navel draws in and up. Take a nice deep inhale. Exhale, bend the knees, start to sink the hips. Again, knees draw away from each other. Try to draw your tailbone down. Lift those frontal hip points up. Keep lifting those elbows up. Chin is parallel to the mat. Hold for one more breath. You're going to straighten the legs. Release the arms out and down. Down to your hips. Parallel your feet. And heel toe your feet back in the hips with distance. All right. Coming back to the top of your mat. Feet are either separated or bring the big toes touch, heels slightly separated. Arms down to the side. So feet together or hips with distance, your option. In your Tadasana pose here, try to draw your tailbone down, lift those frontal hip points up, palms face forward. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Press down through your feet, chair pose, send your hips back, arms forward, palms face each other. Really start to shift the weight into the heels. But firm these outer thighs in. That'll give you a lot of stability. We want a nice, long, neutral spine here, so avoid rounding or arching your back. Biceps next to the ears, palms face each other. Holding for one more breath here. And exhale, gently release, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Vinyasa your way, or meet us in down dog. Knees down or up as you shift forward, lower all the way or halfway down. Tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift into your back bend. Curl the toes under, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Let's all lift our right leg up and back to hip height. Bend the right knee into your chest, step the right foot forward. With the right foot forward, lower your left knee to the mat. Now, if you need a little bit of cushion in that left knee, go ahead and roll your mat over, place a towel or a soft object right underneath. Those back toes, left toes can be curled or uncurled. Pressing down through the feet, and on your inhale, lift the arms up, lift the torso up, Anjaneyasana. Adding our Garudasana arms here, so extend the arms out to a T. Wrap the left arm on the bottom, right arm on the top. Choose whatever option works for you. Maybe the backs of the hands, maybe the palms touch this time. Draw the elbows up, shoulders separate, draw down your back. Really draw the tailbone down, lifting the frontal hip points up. Keep drawing the right hip back, send the left hip forward, hold for one more breath. Exhale, release the arms out to the sides. Raise the arms up overhead. And exhale, release the arms down to either side of that right foot. Curl the left toes under, lift that left knee up. Send the right foot to meet the back foot, and lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. We'll switch to the other side. Lift the left leg up and back to hip height. Flex the left toes. Send the left knee into your chest. Shift your torso forward, left foot up to the top of the mat. Doesn't make it in there in one try. Just walk that left foot up. Right knee drops down. Again, use extra cushion if you need to on that right knee. Top of the right foot stays curled or uncurled. Really press down through your feet. And on your inhale, lift your torso up, lift your arms up overhead. And now release the arms out wide. This time we'll wrap right arm underneath this time. Choose what option works for you. Maybe you stay hugging yourself, backs of the hands or palms touch. Either way, elbows draw up, shoulders separate and draw down your back. Draw that navel in and up. Try to lift up out of your hips. Really press the heel down, press the top of the foot down. Oh, we've got a chicken nearby. We'll see if it comes and makes an appearance. It's checking me out. Draw the left hip back, send the right hip forward. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale, release the arms. Inhale, bring the arms up overhead. And exhale, spiral both arms forward and down. Curl those back toes under, lift the right knee up. Send the left foot to meet the back foot. Vinyasa it your way through. Or lift your hips up and back to downward facing dog. What is up, chicken? Just hanging out. All right, cool. So we'll all meet in down dog. We'll inhale as we gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walker step to the top of the mat. Feet are separated or touching. Inhale as you lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Chair pose. Bend the knees, send the hips back, arms forward, palms face each other. Stay in your chair pose for one more breath. And now straighten your legs, hands down to the center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. I don't know if you guys can see this chicken walking across, but I'm trying to answer that question. Why did the chicken cross the road? Why did it cross the yoga mat? All right, make sure you're at the top of the mat. Again, feet are separated or hips width distance, arms down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Chair pose again, knees bend, hips back, arms forward. Again, shift the weight into the heels. Make sure you can gaze down and see those toes. Thighs firm in. Hold for one more breath. And exhale, release into your forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lifting halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back. Vinyasa your way, knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows, lower all the way or halfway. Lifting up into your back bend, curling the toes under, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Just like we did last time, so we'll lift the right leg up and back to hip height, flex the toes.
Bend the right knee into your chest, shift forward, shoulders over wrist, step the right foot up to the top of the mat. This time we'll keep that back knee up, so both toes face forward. Really press down through both feet, and on your inhale, lift your torso up, lift your arms up overhead. Separate your arms out wide, palms face each other. We'll bring our Garudasana arms together. So we'll bring it all together as one. So take a nice deep inhale. Exhale as you shift forward, lift up off the back leg, bring the left knee up into your chest. Now, wrap your arms, left arm on bottom, right arm on top. Choose what Garudasana arms you're choosing, and then your left knee comes on top of your right knee, and you start to lower your hips down. Maybe you wrap that left ankle behind the right shin. Otherwise, you just keep your knees stacked here. But try to draw that left hip back, right hip draws forward, and you lower your hips to your capacity. Still want to keep a nice long spine. Try to draw your elbows up, draw your navel in and up. Separate the shoulders, draw them down your back. Hold for one more breath. And now we'll press down through our feet. We'll release the arms down to the side, release the left leg down to the side. So back in your Tadasana pose at the top of your mat. Let's inhale as we bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lifting halfway. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, lift your hips up and back, downward facing dog. This chicken is just all over today. All right, lift the left leg up and back to hip height, flex those left toes. Draw the left knee into your chest, shift forward, shoulders over wrist, step the left foot to the top of the mat. Again, make sure that left foot is on the left side, right foot's on the right side. Pressing down through your feet, and on your inhale, lift your torso up, arms up, high lunge. Now extend your arms out wide, palms face forward. Remember what we're moving in towards. So take a nice deep inhale to prepare. Exhale, shift forward, lift your right knee up into your chest, bend that knee, and send your right arm underneath this time. So right arm underneath, left arm on top. Choose whatever Garudasana arms works for you. Back to the hands, maybe palms together this time. And now right knee stacks on top of that left knee. As you lower your hips, draw that right thigh back, left thigh draws forward. Maybe sink a little bit deeper. Keep the spine nice and long here. Keep sending the hips back. Draw your shin back. Lifting those elbows up. Keep drawing the shoulders away and down your back. Let's hold for one more breath. And press down through your foot. Inhale, lift. Release your feet, release your arms down, back into your Tadasana pose. Let's inhale, bring the arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold, plant your palms, step your right foot back, step your left foot back, downward facing dog. On your inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk your step to the top of the mat. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees, send your hips back, chair pose, arms forward. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, let's meet on our mats in our Balasana pose. So, child's pose, drop your knees down, top to the feet to the mat. Send your hips back down to your heels, arms extend forward. So far, the chicken and the cat seem to be doing okay with each other. Oliver, what do you think? Okay, Oliver's investigating. There is a chicken coop a couple dozen feet from us, so I think one of the chickens got out. Just stay in your child's pose. Everything's okay over here. Take a couple more nice deep inhales and exhales. All right, gently lift your forehead up. Lift your hips up. Send your legs off to the side.
And we'll come into a Baddha Konasana. So start by in a seat with your legs extended out in front of you. Bend your knees into your chest, let your knees fall out to the side, bottoms of the feet touch. Baddha Konasana. So just like when we started practicing our seat, if you need some elevation, you can roll up your mat, sit on a block or a towel. Not sure if you just saw the chicken fly by. I think Oliver's doing more than investigating right now, so we'll see what he reports back with. All right, spine nice and long. So root down through your sit bones, rise up through the crown of your head. Option to stay right here, or if you'd like, you can add a forward fold. So we'll inhale as we lengthen through our spine. Keep that length, and on your exhale, send your heart forward. Try to imagine sending your heart toward your toes. If you have more mobility, you can start to extend and walk your fingertips or palms out, resting your chest on your feet, or you can place a block or something to rest on underneath your chest. Let's take 2 more slow, deep breaths here. All right, begin to lift your chin up, lift your chest up, gently walk your hands back. Once you're back with your spine nice and long, use the bottoms of your hands to lift your knees back up into center and re-extend your legs straight out in front of you. All right, with your legs extended out, let's flex those feet. Try to spin these inner thighs in and down. Adding a forward fold here. If you like, you can start with your knees bent. So inhale as you bring the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, keep that length, send your heart forward, forward fold. So again, if your knees are bent, you can stay right here, or as we stay here for 3 to 5 breaths, maybe you start to walk your heels out. Just choose whatever options work for you. With your legs a little more extended, it can be more of a hamstring stretch. Or if you have your knees slightly bent, you'll feel it more move into more of a back stretch. So wherever you are, try to keep your spine nice and long. So avoid rounding your spine too much here. You're still sending your heart towards your toes. Staying for one more breath here. All right, let's inhale as we start to lift our chest back up, walk our hands back. With your hands to your sides, bend your knees, and send your hips up closer to your heels. We'll come onto our backs. So holding onto your shins or your thighs, gently roll down onto your backs. All right, keep your knees bent, walk your heels back closer to your hips. And normally we start knees and feet hips width distance. So let's bring this left knee and left foot into the center of the mat. Right knee draws into your chest and right knee stacks over the left. So we were here before in another form. But this time lift your feet off the mat and separate your feet out wide. Try to keep your knees on tops of your hips. It's a unique sensation to try and separate your feet wide because your brain tries to do the opposite thing since your legs are crossed. So see how that feels for you. You can stay right here down on the mat, drawing your navel in and down to try and have as much of your spine on the mat. Or if you'd like, you can lift your shoulders and the back of your head off. Grab either the shins or the outsides of your feet, and you can draw them down just ever so gently. Just try to keep the low back on the mat. Holding here for one more breath. Exhale, gently release. Arms back down to the sides, and gently release your knees, your feet back down to the mat, knees separated, hips width distance. All right, we'll do that. Switching the other side. So this time bring your right foot to the center of the mat. Right knee and foot to the center. Left knee draws into your chest and send it over and on top of that right knee. So this time the left knee is on top. Lifting the knees up, lifting the feet up off the mat, flexing the feet, and draw the feet away from each other towards the outside edges. Again, play with that for a moment, see how that feels.
Notice if your back is rounding or arching here, try to draw your navel in and down, core engaged. You can stay right here or same options as before, lifting your shoulders and your head off the mat, either grabbing around your shins or the outsides of your feet, and then gently drawing your feet away and down. Just holding here for 2 deep breaths, whatever option you choose. And exhale, gently release, arms down to the sides. Let's release the knees back down to the mat. So with the knees and the feet hips width distance, bottoms of the feet to the mat, let's let the knees fall into touch and separate the feet out wide. Extend the arms out to a T, palms face up. We'll add a moving twist here. So on your inhale, let the knees fall off to the right. And exhale, they draw back into center. Inhale, let them drop to the left. And exhale back to center. So keep moving on your breath. Inhale as you let your knees fall off to the side. Exhale as you draw back to center. Slow and controlled here. Try to keep your shoulders rooted the entire time. Your hips can come up off the mat. Remember, your feet are wide and your knees touch as they come through center. Hi, Oliver. You making friends with the chicken over there? We'll get the report later. All right. Bring your knees back to center. Separate your knees and your feet to hips width distance. And let's draw the knees into our chest. Wrap your hands around your shins or your thighs. Give a nice gentle squeeze here. Keep drawing everything in, and let's lift the back of the head and the shoulders off the mat. Try and squeeze everything together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And on your exhale, release. Extend the legs long, extend the arms long, point the toes away from the body, extend the fingertips nice and long. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, release. Arms down to the sides, palms face up. Let the legs long, let the knees and the feet fall out to the side. Settling into your final pose of practice today, Shavasana. If you prefer any other option, perhaps blocks under the knees or a towel, maybe Supta Baddha Konasana with the bottoms of your feet together, knees out wide, whatever calls to you to complete your practice. Just be sure to choose an option that allows you to release. Settling in by allowing your body to be heavy, letting your shoulders and your hips really sink into your mat. Allowing yourself to release any last little bits of tension that may be in your body. Easing your hips and your knees, softening your shoulders, releasing any muscles and tension in your face and in your jaw. Always have the option to soften your gaze or close your eyes completely. Finally, release any control you have over your breath. Just be.
And now begin to bring some movements back into your body. Wiggling your fingers and your toes. Rotating your wrists and your ankles. Switch directions in those rotations. And come back to stillness for one last breath here on your back. Now gently and slowly bring your knees into your chest as you roll over to one side of your body. Let your top arm rest on your bottom, top knee rests on your bottom knee. Stay for a breath here on your side. Now try to keep your eyes softened or your gaze closed as you use your top arm to press yourself up to a comfortable cross-legged seat to complete your practice today. In your comfortable seat, you can rest your palms on tops of your knees. Palms can face up, or bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together. Through the mouth, exhale. Thank you all for joining me for your practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me. Very grateful for all of your presence here today, and I appreciate all of the understandings from all the different distractions and creatures that decided to make their appearance here today. So it's always exciting in a new spot to see what kind of things will happen. Hopefully the sound was okay. Again, it was a little windy today. There's some noise from the highway that's nearby, but hopefully you could still hear me okay. And I'm just going to switch to the page just to make sure everything looks okay here. And I just wanted to say too that um, beginning today for this practice and moving into January, I'm partnering with a local charity and nonprofit down here. Aldeas de Paz Peace Villages is based here in the Las Terrenas, Samana area of Dominican Republic, and they work with other organizations to help pair volunteers and direct funding to those different local organizations. So what I'm doing is if you have enjoyed class or if you'd like to donate for whatever reason, I'm partnering with a organization that helps children and adults with mental and physical challenges. And so we are collecting funds through the end of January to raise money that goes directly to the communities here. So if you are interested, there is a link in the video description. And if you have any questions, you can always let me know. And as well as any other yoga questions or feedback or suggestions for the future, you can always reach out to me. You can leave a comment in the chat, comments on the description, or there's more info to reach out to me in the video description. So otherwise, on behalf of me, Oliver, Coney, and the chicken that made an appearance today, I hope you have a wonderful day and enjoy the rest of your week. I'll see you next time in practice. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Daniel. Peace.